Hi everyone, this is Jamie and I'm back to pretty much saying that everything is political and everything is used as a weapon against us. In short, or if to be very dramatic and very kind of like catchy, flashy headlines. So, what I wanted to talk about today is that, as everyone knows, LGBT is kind of like a pawn when it comes to the political compass and when it comes to the political. Like, for instance, I recently had a grinder hookup. I do hookups. Yay. Congrats. Congrats if you didn't know. Pat yourself on the back. And we were discussing Russia, and I was talking about the situation in Lithuania, how it's much worse, and how people do not actually acknowledge it in any way, or it's not spoken in the media, or the guy didn't actually know about the situation currently happening in Poland, and neither did my partner know about the situation in Poland. And it made me wonder, why don't we believe the people? Why do we believe the news outlet? And so people are kind of being hypocritical, where they say, for instance, I'm reading newspaper A, which tells the truth, and then you have a person saying, actually, I come from there, or I spoke to someone else. Like, I told him that I spoke to a person from St. Petersburg a few months ago, and they were surprised at my situation, my experience in Lithuania, about the Russian language, about being gay, about being trans, and everything. And the response was literally, but I saw these two documentaries, and they showed that it was really bad in Russia. And I had seen one of the documentaries, actually. I'm sorry that I'm scratching my nose. Anyway, and I'm sorry, I'm nervous still. Will they be able to cut it? Okay, thank you. And basically, I don't know why do we believe we're back to believing the television. So the whole idea of the internet, the whole idea of believing people is shattered again. It's all about believing the television all over. It's all about believing the newspapers. It's all about Maggie Thatcher winning. I think that's, if I recall my history correctly. So people tend to believe whatever they decide to believe rather than an actual person talking about it, or a person has the experience to talk about it. So then that puts orators or people who try to get first-hand news from mouth to mouth in a very awkward position. And I also had a few discussions like on Reddit after I posted my previous video. People were like, "Oh, you aren't even an ally," and I was like, "I am a binary trans guy. What do you want me to do? Like, this is the way hormones worked with my body." And the more time goes, the more people try to exclude people. And going back to the political compass, which is what I started from, is that once you say, for instance, in the US, that like, yes, I'm a Republican, I voted for Donald Trump, and etc., that's it. They get excluded from the conversation. Look at Caitlyn Jenner. I personally really enjoyed her show, and her show helped me and helped some exposure. Was it perfect? Of course it had its flaws, but the biggest issue was the fact that Ellen wasn't with open arms to accept her, just because she was a Republican. Just because Caitlyn was a Republican and Ellen was a Democrat. And then you can go that and apply that to Brazil. You can apply that to the UK, maybe. I guess. I don't know. You can apply that to Russia. You can apply that to Eastern Europe. You can apply that to the EU. And it all goes down to who you are voting for, and the conversation will end there. If you say that you vote for someone else, it's gone. Like, for instance, I have friends from Brazil. I have a Brazilian partner, for God's sake. And you just throw the word Bolsonaro to the table. It's an old joke. And then everyone will start fighting. But the thing is, why is LGBT a pawn? Why are human rights a pawn? And in the end, when I end up sitting at the table, I have like people who didn't vote for Bolsonaro saying stuff like, oh, LGBT is bad. And people who voted for Bolsonaro saying, oh, LGBT is good. And then I have the usual image, which is Bolsonaro spitting LGBT phobic bullshit. But people tend to cut everything into pieces, like everyone who votes for Bolsonaro is bad, everyone who votes for Lula is good, or vice versa. And yeah. And the same goes for Russia. People just tend to believe that Russia's bad. People don't go into a further analysis. So LGBT becomes such a small pawn that changes the entire chess game. And it's so bizarre and so strange, up to the point that I don't even know how to end this video. I'm just like, okay, I said my points, I gave examples, and now I need an outro. There is no outro. Think!